everybody, it's Susan with the Carnegie Library, and I'm here with another book review for you. Today I want to talk about the book Natalie Tan's Book of Luck and Fortune by Roselle Lim. And this book was absolutely delightful. This was a magical realism book, and it was just so beautifully written. Let's take a look at the cover before we get started talking about the book. It's so gorgeous. It has this pretty gold foil writings and lots of illustrations on what the book is about. It's just very gorgeous. You know how I enjoy talking about covers. But this book was excellent. So this book is about Natalie Tan, and Natalie has just found out that her mother's passed away, so she heads home to take care of her estate and figure out what she's going to do with all her mother's stuff. She hasn't been speaking to her mother, and she hasn't spoken to her in years, so she is dealing with a lot of feelings about not seeing her mother, being estranged from her mother, and she's having a really difficult time with her mother's death. Her mother was so unhappy that Natalie had decided to be a chef. She wanted more for her daughter. She didn't think that was a good profession. That's what her mother did. She owned a Chinese restaurant that she left to her daughter, and her daughter was like, I don't want to have anything to do with this. She was agoraphobic. She wouldn't leave her apartment. So Natalie really struggled with wanting to be a chef because she wanted to follow in her grandmother's steps, but her mother was not happy about it. She did not want her to do that. She thought she could do something else. So as Natalie is returning to her mother's Chinatown apartment, she sees that the neighborhood is in bad repair. This street that she lives on, the businesses are closing. It's kind of a dying part of the city, and she's very upset about it because Chinatown is a great tourist destination and their street used to be thriving, and it's just not anymore. And she's really sad, and she's like, what can I do about this? When she realizes that the restaurant that was under her mother's apartment is owned by her now. And she realizes, hey, I could open up that restaurant again, and maybe that'll help the neighborhood come back, because it was so popular when her grandmother had it open that it brought people from all around, and Natalie is a great cook too. So part of Natalie's inheritance is also her grandmother's old recipe book, and in there she finds recipes that have a little bit of extra flavor and maybe a little bit of magic about them. So as she sets about trying to repair that neighborhood, she cooks a lot of these recipes. And let me tell you, do not read this book unless you have eaten recently. Do not read it when you're hungry, because the food in here will make your mouth water. Oh my goodness, there's recipes in there that you can actually cook from if you want, but they talk about food all the time. The whole book's about food, and it is amazing. So as Natalie tries to start saving the neighborhood, she makes some friends. She even has a little bit of romance. She has this most adorable kitty cat. So this book was delightful. I really loved the magical realism elements of this book. I enjoyed being in Natalie's head as she tried to figure out the reasons her mother was agoraphobic, and she started exploring her own past and just seeing how she grew throughout the book. It was just a really emotional book about food, family, found family. So once again, this is Natalie Tan's Book of Luck and Fortune by Roselle Lim. Come on into the Carnegie, check it out. Read it, let us know what you think about it. If you end up making any of the recipes from this book, post them on our social media and let us know. But I hope you enjoy this one, because I really loved this one. So join me again soon for another book review. Thanks so much.